Hi everyone, nice to meet you all. Delighted to lead this panel today. As the introduction said, cloud technology is today at the heart of sport organization, helping teams on how they train, how they operate, how they engage with fans today. At AWS, we're convinced that sport organizations that are today leaders or will be leaders in the coming years are the ones who adopted an ambitious data strategy, and on top of that, for the most mature one, an AI data strategy. And I insist on this order: adopt AI, yes, but first adapt data foundation, which is a crucial part to have clean AI. Delighted to have this beautiful panel with me today. We are going to decompose the sport organization and the layers that are adopting AI and data today. To start maybe this panel and deep dive directly into the topics, Benjamin, if you want to take the lead first maybe. You have been one of the first club in League One to build a data strategy and a cloud strategy. Can you tell us maybe about this journey and how you modernize Olympique de Marseille?
Merci. Thank you, Armel. So yes, the cloud has come first with data. So 7 years ago, I arrived at the club, and we decided first to do an assessment around, okay, where we are in terms of infrastructure, in terms of software, in terms of data, where are our data. And so we realized that we will not be able to build what we want to build on the existing infrastructure, on the existing assets. So this is at this moment that we decide to switch and to start the cloud inside the club, and also to really do a deep assessment on what we have in terms of technology inside the club. Shadow IT, data flows, infrastructure, softwares, everything. And after this, it took a certain time. We choose to go on cloud and start with the foundation. So policy, security, landing zone, etc., etc., etc. And so we start slowly to go on data, and we scale the cloud to other vertical like media, streaming, hosting, basic hosting, and other things. When we have done this, after we have the foundation to build on data, and so we have start to build our data warehouse and data lake and start to integrate our data. So it was around ticketing, e-shop, but also sports data, like you can imagine.
Thank you, Benjamin. And we will come back later on the exact use case that you are pushing. Lionel, maybe you have more than 25 years in IT, more than 10 years at the club today. Can you tell us a bit more about all the shifts that happened in terms of your career, of course, but serving a sport organization? Can you tell us a bit about those shifts and maybe putting in parallel the AI revolution that is coming on what you've seen and the difference in those transformations, maybe?
Thank you, Armel. I think the first one in the 1990s was, of course, Internet. The apparition of Internet that allows a cloud platform to appear and also go from isolated on-premise platform and infrastructure to cloud. I think this is the first step. Second one would be data. I mean, the explosion of data usage in the sports specifically. And we became, I think, all of us, data-driven organization. The issue was to host and to centralize all this amount of data. Then I will talk about cybersecurity because, of course, all this data and platform were available on internet. And so it was a temptation for attackers to steal or corrupt these data. And also it became a specific role in the IT. And yes, AI, I think, is the latest. AI on top of data because, as you know, data is the key. I mean, without data, there's no AI. the AI gives us the ability now to predict and to modelize, to simulate from the data we have. And it's also, I think, a cultural change for all the people in their professional and also personal life, because AI is almost everywhere now, from cars to anything. Some people compare AI revolution with internet appearance. I think in some point it can be, yes, it can be comparable. Yeah.
Fantastic, thank you, Lionel. Moving on maybe to you, Bastien, on the media side, inside the Global League. We are seeing in the media distribution a real shift, with traditional broadcaster being really disrupted, the emergence also of global streaming platform coming into the game, but also right owners building their strategy from scratch with direct-to-consumer D2C channels. Inside the Global League, Bastien, how do you interpret or adapt, or what's your view on this transformation today?
I mean, you said it all in terms of the different model. So can you guys hear me? Okay, good, because I cannot hear myself. I think the way the live content that is inherent to sport is distributed is just reflecting via the increase of global streaming, the way fans want to consume that content. That's the fourth point. And cloud technology is enabling that. Is enabling to deliver at scale 2 million of people this live content, which is a challenge. Just to be tech for like 2 seconds, the fact that it's very complex to have millions of people or even thousands of people wanting to access live content at the same time, which is not the case with on-demand. And so we're adapting to that, and our business and the media distribution models are completely revolutionized by that aspect. And so you said it, there's 3 models. There's a traditional model with broadcaster that can be pay television or free to air. There's then the ability to expand distribution with global streamers, and then their direct consumer proposition. That is the case, for instance, here with the French Football League that chose that path recently. And it's also, you also have the ability of the sports company to have a hybrid model. And that's where the case of the NBA is interesting, I think, because that's exactly what we've done. We have more than, just in Europe and Middle East, we have more than 20 partnerships with local or regional broadcasters, such as beIN Sport in France or Sky in UK or Italy. At the same time, we've announced last summer this great partnership with Prime Video that is allowing us to distribute globally a package of game as well. And last but not least, we're also operating, and we've been operating our own direct consumer service for almost 20 years. So it's a hybrid model from that perspective, and this is just the beginning of that, transformation. I've been talking on panel for 10 years, saying the exact same thing, that the revolution is coming. That linear is not dead. Everybody's adapting, and the way we're consuming content is going to continue to evolve, and we're just scratching the surface. But what cloud technology is bringing to the table is the ability to scale, and that's where it's very important and interesting for a sport organization like the NBA.
So it's a good news for fan experience and the fans.
It's a great news.
Amazing. Fred, maybe to conclude this first roundtable, inside a World Tour cycling team, I guess that you face many challenges as your job in the hearth of performance and the innovation inside the team. I guess that you face some challenge, maybe adopting or pushing for innovation from the coach, from the sports people themselves, the athletes, or maybe the fan overall. Can you tell us a bit more about how you push for innovation inside a cycling team?
Firstly, it's important to understand that cycling is an hyper-connected sport since always. And so that is important for me and for the team. It's try to well understand that AI is the pros and cons of AI, because for a lot of people it's a sort of a nebula, what is possible to make with AI. It's not evident for a lot of people, and it's so important for athletes inside the team also to well explain. Yes, since 2 years ago, with sports scientists, data scientists, we use some modules of IA integrated in the platform, but sometimes it's so very complex. This is the reason why IA is not a magic wand. It's a proxy, a stem. Try that very useful when you have the capacity to work in line with the staff, the coach, athletes, sport directors, trainers. This is the reason why it's so very important. Take the time to well explain.
But you see any resistance on this adoption of data of AI, or with the new generation of athletes, for example, coming? Not at all.
No, not very resistance. No, not resistance, but just well explain. Well explain, because AI can't make what you want. Okay, this is the reason why it's very, very important to well explain the complementarity between the process data with AI and also the important work with the staff.
Thank you. Going back to you, Benjamin, you explained a bit the journey of the cloud transformation or the data transformation, at least inside the club. But maybe if we go down into the focus of the use cases, which line of business are you serving today thanks to this data foundation, and what are the use cases, like concrete example you can give us in scouting, in ticketing, whatever, but if you can give concrete example.
Yes, so we are a football club, so people lots of times think that we are doing only football data, but in fact we are also selling tickets, we are doing merchandising, we are managing database, CRM, so we have in fact two kind of data that we handle on a daily basis. We have what we can call the corporate data, ticketing, merchandising, CRM, behavior, website, mobile application, etc., etc. Access control for the stadium, etc. And we have also sports data, for sure, on lots of vertical. We have performance data, scouting data for different use cases. For example, if I start with sports, it really depends on the season and on the staff, because you don't need to provide every season the same kind of reports or data, but you need to have the ability to change fast and evolve. And this is why also we have started to build with cloud. For example, basic one, pre-match data, post-match data, report on a specific player, can be one specific example, but also lots of scouting, for example, talent detection. I like to take this example because, for example, you can imagine like when you want to process data on scouting, you can work with external data providers that can give you lots amount of data, lots amount. For example, tracking data in football, it's like the coordinate of each player 30 times by second on each championship, on each game. So at the end,
big volume.
Big volume.
And different source.
Yes, but this is one sources. And this is why also we need to have strong foundation. And if I give you one simple example for business, yesterday, for example, we had a game and we use data to manage the access control, because we know where the attendance will be the most bigger, okay, and also for the sales, ticketing sales, for example.
Okay, so performance, operation, fans, like you cover all the scopes in your data foundations.
Yes. I think we split the responsibilities. This is not the same people that work on football and people that work on marketing or sales, but at the end, this is the same foundation, and we segregate the data depending on the need, and yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Moving on to you, Bastien. We have announced a global partnership with Prime Video, you mentioned it, also with AWS to help NBA push for fan engagement or personalization of the experience. Can you tell us a bit more about this partnership and how you are pushing for engagement and personalization now at NBA?
Yeah, so for context, we've announced last summer the 11-year partnership with Prime Video, which is global, but we've announced 3 of them. There's one with Prime Video, there's one with Disney, and then one with Comcast. So it was a massive shift in the way we distribute our content globally. Amazon Prime Video obviously give us scale and ticks a lot of boxes. There's a commitment from day one to localize the content. There's 12 languages, 7 in Europe that are part of these agreements. There's a culture of innovation with Prime, and which is shared with the NBA, that we believe is going to help developing great feature for the way the content is consumed by our fan going forward. And we have time to scale and to improve the product, because we have 11 years in front of us. I may not be there at the end of the 11 years, but the partnership will. And we also had a very reassuring experience in specific markets in Brazil and Mexico since 2022, where Prime was already a partner in integrating our direct consumer product. So we knew that we had the element to measure that the potential and the success of that deal. And I want to also mention, we're only 1 month in the season, we already have tremendous results. The first season, in terms of viewership, we're up 75% in viewership in Europe in comparable matchups. And the first primetime game that was streamed on Amazon Prime Video, featuring Victor Wembanyama, was the most watched primetime game in Europe regular season ever.
Wow.
And just this on the first week. So then to come back to cloud, so obviously the AWS is now the official cloud and cloud AI of the NBA. I think one good example to mention is this initiative called NBA Inside the Game that we've launched with AWS, where we're combining the power of cloud computing and data tracking. So it's not to say that we're doing more than Marseille, but you mentioned 30 times per second that we're tracking data. We're tracking 60 times per second, 29 different data points. 29 different data points that then we use to deliver advanced statistics, such as defensive impact, so measuring the actual efficiency of a player defensively, shooting effectiveness, so on any shot taken, we can basically measure if it's a good shot or a bad shot and the expected efficiency of that shot, or one that I really like called gravity, which is the attention that a particular player is driving from defenders. And obviously, once you have all this data, the ability to transmit them within a broadcasting experience to create additional engagement is absolutely key, and we believe that with both our partnership with AWS and the one with Amazon Prime, we have the right partner to do so. So we're very excited about what this partnership is those two partnerships are going to deliver.
And we are too. Maybe on that, you mentioned the broadcasting experience. What are for you, in terms of media technology shift, like the most exciting one that you will see or that you are the most excited of, that will really revolutionize this broadcasting experience?
I think it's really the personalization aspect through generative AI. We're going to come from a one-size-fits-all experience. I mean, today there is to some extent some personalization that is generated by AI, like my Spotify homepage or my Prime or my Netflix homepage is going to look different than the one of my colleagues here. But we're going to go much deeper in that personalization level, and that's going to be transformative from the industry. And beyond broadcasts, AI is going to change, significantly our league and sports, and you were mentioning it, in terms of athlete preparation, projection of potential injuries, refereeing as well. We use AI to analyze trajectory of a ball to help referees to take the best decision. So there's just a lot of things that is going to transform our sports and our sports. and the way we deliver sport content to mainstream audience.
Thank you. Frédéric, maybe to go back to you, inside a cycling team, maybe we are all wondering now, can you give us specific example of what you are doing in terms of data and AI to help at the end performance of the team, because each second counts in cycling. Yeah. So if you can tell us a bit about that.
Yeah. Yes, each seconds. Yeah, each seconds. We have a private platform inside the team, and you can imagine that every day 40 athletes download data in the private platform. Okay, every day. So it's big, and data in cycling, it's a lot of data because we make measurement on the bike, power, altitude, temperature, GPS, force, torque, and also heart rate. Sometimes temperature inside the body. So a lot of data, and this is the reason why it's important with the data scientists and the sport scientists with AI to collect all this data, but develop special AI model to make the data talk, okay? Because alone the coach, it's so very difficult sometimes to well understand this big data and try to extract the good information. Okay, this is the reason why I think again to have the good development with AI and in line with the coach, it's so very important to track the level of performance. Another example is to have a lot of works with the development of the materials, and we take a lot of time in the wind tunnel to improve aerodynamics. Okay, for the bike, position of the riders on the bike, the fabrics, the helmets, a lot of materials, and thanks to AWS and ANSYS, it's possible now to decrease 17-fold the time of computations for the simulations. Again, 1 year ago, in 1 day, 1 simulations. Now 1 hour. Okay, this is the reason why these reductions with the AI and the new models also in the ANSYS software and with your help, AWS, it's very so important for us to make more simulations, more works in the day, and again, I think for the result for the team.
So impact on aerodynamic and R&D to make sure that the concept and the production of the equipment are more aerodynamic.
Yeah, because our sport it's the riders on the materials, okay, and works on the combo riders, bike, materials. It's so important. Okay, sure, for sure, it's important to have a good athlete because athletes push the pedals, but materials is also very important. Also, the recruitment for the young riders so important. We enter a lot of data in the platforms for the young riders, and with some new EA models, have a better understand of all this data for improve the recruitment for the young riders.
Thank you very much to all of you. I think we are out of time. I see already the sign. It's only 25 minutes.
Perfect timing.
We could have deep dive a bit more on all the use cases, but it's short. Thank you very much, everyone, for your attention on the session, and thank you to all our speakers also.